What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Milwaukee coming at you once again. And today we're going to talk about Green Lantern Rebirth by Jeff Johns and Ethan Van Sciver. Let's get into it. Fear is spreading across the universe, and it's infecting the Green Lanterns, and there's only one guy who can stop it. But he's dead. Oh well, end of story. Not really. The title's called Green Lantern Rebirth, and it's a rebirth in so many senses here with the Green Lanterns, Green Lantern Corps, interest in Green Lantern, interest in DC Comics. I mean, this book really had I wouldn't say it had a lot of pressure on it. I don't know, I wasn't there when it was written, but it certainly, you know, lit the torch of the flame that would carry DC all the way up till present day, really, if you think about it. You know, Jeff Johns was the mastermind of a lot of events here. Green Lantern Rebirth, Infinite Crisis, Flashpoint, DC Rebirth. You know, he's just had his hands on everything and sort of steered the ship. And when I decided to get back into DC Comics after taking 10 years off, I knew that this is where I had to start, because in my opinion, this is where it all starts. If you're interested at all in reading Green Lantern, this is the book you got to pick up. Sure, you could argue there's better jumping on points with like New 52 or DC Rebirth, but for me, it all starts right here. It doesn't get better than Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. So if you read anything else, go back and read this. So this story is all about the redeeming and rebirth of Hal Jordan, who was once considered to be the greatest of the Green Lanterns, until one day he went a little crazy, ended up wiping out the Green Lantern Corps and killing a whole bunch of the Guardians, and he got killed for his actions, right? But nobody ever really knew why he snapped, what was going on. And of course, you know, the nature of comics, all of this is probably one big retcon, but it turns out that he was possessed by this space entity known as Parallax. And because Parallax was able to take over Hal Jordan in a moment of weakness, he was able to, you know, sort of puppet Hal's body and commit all those heinous crimes in Hal's name. And so the book starts off. You got a couple of like UFO investigators that are out there like in the desert or whatever, hoping to catch UFO sightings. And wouldn't you know it, boom, here comes a spaceship crashing down right in front of them. And it's Kyle Rayner, the Earth Green Lantern, and he's got in his possession Hal Jordan's body. He just came from the sun. Apparently Hal Jordan's body was thrown into the sun to destroy it because he was just that bad of a guy. But there's one problem. See, Kyle, he's afraid. The fear is possessing him. So then before you know it, here comes Kilowog, alien Green Lantern. He lands on Earth, and he starts throwing down with Kyle because he too is possessed by fear. This brings along, you know, Ganthet, the surviving guardian of the universe. And he's able to help those two overcome like their fear. And of course, while all this is going on, John Stewart Green Lantern and Guy Gardner Green Lantern, they're also overcome by fear, and they're battling the Justice League. And it's like, what is going on? What is happening? This is crazy, right? So it all comes down to Hal Jordan being able to escape his new role as the Spectre, which is like this spirit that goes around Earth delivering vengeance or whatever. I guess they just wanted to use the Hal Jordan character, and they're like, oh, here, you're the Spectre now. Well, anyway, he has to stop being the Spectre, be resurrected, get his ring back, his Green Lantern ring, and because he's the one Green Lantern who traditionally didn't know fear, I guess, or that's what I pick up reading this. And so Ganthet helps him, guide him back, his soul back to his body, and now it's on. So you got the combined forces of like Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, Kilowog. They're all fighting, you know, Parallax. And Hal Jordan's longtime like main villain Sinestro shows up. He was like, yo, I faked my death. And that's the reason Parallax was able, you know, to possess you. Here I am. And so it's one big fight, one big showdown. The Green Lanterns, through their combined effort, they're able to beat back Sinestro. They entrap Parallax once again. into the main power battery on Oa. And Hal's back. And Batman is not too pleased. Back in the day, this was the first Green Lantern story I ever read. I didn't really have a problem jumping on with it because I know when you read comics, you just gotta roll with it, take it at face value, and just enjoy the ride. So I didn't have trouble jumping in here. I can't say that won't be the same for you, but my advice would be to just roll with it. It's one of the better stories out there ever written in comics. If you don't enjoy this, then comics might not be for you. As far as things I liked about the story, I really like Jeff Johns' writing. Some people have their gripes with him, but for me, back when I was in the trenches, going to the comic shop every Wednesday, if Jeff Johns' name was at a book, it was a must buy. He got me to read Aquaman, if you could believe it. He just has this ability. I don't know. He just draws you in and makes you care about characters you shouldn't care about. And of course, the art by Ethan Van Sciver here is top notch, really detailed. You can really make out everything that's going on. It's just good stuff. Since this was a reread for me, I was able to see a lot of the seeds that Jeff planted here for future events, such as, Sinestro Corps War and Blackest Night and all these things. So that's a real treat, for me. For newcomers, it might go over your head, but still, it's one of my favorite parts of the book anyway. Another thing that I enjoyed about this book is, Batman, his presence here, him giving, Hal Jordan the business, not really trusting him because of the events that Hal did in the past. I never personally read those events, but you get like good recaps here and stuff, so you don't need to have read them. Batman, he's untrusting, and it leads Hal Jordan to just knock him out, one punch. Batman goes down. Pretty funny. As far as dislikes, I didn't really have any. That's not me saying this is a perfect book. It's just there wasn't much really to dislike. I was just really enjoying the story. Had a good flow to it. It really reignites my interest in Green Lantern. That it can ignite yours as well, should you choose to read it. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give Green Lantern Rebirth the highest rating I can. 5 out of 5. Great stuff. It really helps set the DC universe as a whole on like a whole new path, whole new trajectory. It probably brought in new readers. I know I was one of them. So I was able to pick it up and follow along, no problem. So if you decide you want to read this, you're not going to have an issue either. This would be where I would recommend jumping on for Green Lantern. Like I said, you can argue there's better points to jump on now because the story is like damn near 20 years old. But in my opinion, it doesn't get better than Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run, and you can't go wrong with it. So until next time, I'll see you there.